Welcome back to Inside Politics. Our guest today is Nashville Mayor John Cooper. Mayor, we're talking about the federal money coming down for virus relief. Some of that money is already pledged. You pledged some of it already to go to 2nd Avenue for the recovery down there. We had Freddie O'Connell here on the show, the councilman from downtown. He has talked to you about an idea that he mentioned on the show about having some kind of in lieu of taxes for the property owners that are impacted down there. Their values have gone up even despite what happened. This would give them a lower amount to pay. It wouldn't be the full taxes. Is that legal? Is that something you would back?
Well, I'm super grateful to Councilman O'Connell. We need to put every clever financing strategy on the table in order to get a big vision done in 2nd Avenue. We need that restored, but actually improved. And to use this as an opportunity, I'm grateful to the ULI and the planning folks assembling a deep group of stakeholders to do the right visioning for how downtown needs to operate, and not only restoring and repairing the buildings, but is our traffic flow correct? Our streetscape, is that good? Whatever, our valued riverbank, is this an opportunity to turn this into a treasure for Nashville?
So you think these will be the things that will keep the property owners down there to rebuild or restore or do something, even though it'll mean a lot more money, not only for Metro to put in, but you're talking about the state being involved too?
Well, I think the state wants to be involved. I mean, the state understands that the bombing was, though not a terrorist act, was imposed on these property owners and businesses, and here they're coming at the end of COVID and they had the bombing to deal with too. And basic fairness means that we need to be creative and get this important job done. It will be slow once you get the stakeholders really to agree to the right vision to implement, and then our commitment to get that funded. But we're going to need creativity to do it.
Speaking of slow, some of the things you're proposing at the Metro Council are not getting through real quickly. One of them is to create a Department of Transportation, beginning by taking the trash collection operation out of Public Works and giving it over to Water Services. There's also been some talk out of your office about having some kind of solid waste fee that would fund that, but people already think they pay their property taxes to get their trash picked up. Why would you want to bring that up a year after you just raised property taxes 34%?
Well, the first goal here is to have a super effective Department of Transportation. I mean, over the many years in Nashville, the Department of Public Works is kind of guys with trucks and guys with trucks with shovels. And we need a more modern approach to transportation as the city expands, and transportation is one of our big vulnerabilities in being a city that works.
But your plan for transportation does not include putting WeGo in it. It's going to say separate, and that doesn't make sense. That's a major way the city is involved in moving people around the community.
Show me a successful Department of Transportation, and maybe it will expand its portfolio. But right now, the Department of Transportation needs to implement things like smart cities investments. And we need to have a state-of-the-art transportation department that's using technology to flow our traffic better. And that's a different skill set than the traditional public works skill set. And having water morph into a sustainability vision, that with both water and waste, that we're managing our city in a safe and sustainable way in the future, is a different skill set. So I want to be able to recruit and to have a Department of Transportation director who is significant nationally and makes Nashville a model for how cities can maximize an investment in transportation to get benefit for cities.
You're also looking to modernize the downtown parking system, the meters on the streets. There was one that your predecessor, that you campaigned against, it was stopped, but you got one now. How is yours different? How is yours better?
Well, ours is super different. We're not selling it, right? And we're going to have...
But you are going to have a private partner.
Well, as the city does in almost everything else, you're going to maximize the revenue. The revenue opportunity that we're missing in the previous plan is 5 to 6 times what it is currently, and it's not because rates are going up. You're not selling it to a private partner who's going to set rates. Rates will stay at $2 or $3 an hour. You'll have more availability, but in the end, we need to control that right-of-way as we redesign a more successful downtown, not sell it off. We have to control it, and we have to partner with people who are going to improve better meters, right, which is really what this is who do you want your meter provider to be? Well, we were never making meters ourselves. We were always having a private party install and manufacture the meters for us, but we're an evolved city in terms of our transportation need, and we're not putting it, as the last plan did, into any neighborhoods.
Coming down to about the
it's
last
completely
question,
different.
You're looking at revitalizing the Speedway, the Fairgrounds Speedway. You're going to bring in the Bristol Motor Speedway to do that. A lot of people in the neighborhood are upset you haven't involved them in that process, they say, and they want to know when they're going to get involved. You know, when we built the soccer stadium out there, they had to sign, the owners had to sign an agreement to do things for that community.
Well, I'm super grateful for you bringing this up. Now is the time for the community involvement. You have to have kind of a proposal to discuss with the community, one. Two, I think the great concern is noise. There's a lot of noise abatement technology and design feature that can go to minimize that. Now, ultimately, it is a charter protected function to have the raceway. The raceway has been there since the early 1900s. This is not a new feature to that neighborhood. But the vision with Bristol will be to build an intimate but modern facility that is really not that much racing will in fact go on there, that is done in a sound, muffled way and is a credit to the neighborhood. What does that allow to happen? This is the important thing for neighbors to realize. We're going to make money off of this racing, and we're going to be able to reinvest the money into a better park system that they're going to be able to use in their daily lives. I want the Greenway there to extend from the fairgrounds up to Trevecca. I want it to get down to for the 440 Greenway. The future of connectivity and green space investment is made easier with these kind of smart deals.
Mayor John Cooper, thank you so much for being on the program. Thanks for being my first guest back in studio. We won't be doing this much, but do appreciate you doing it.
Thank you.
And thank you for joining us this week on Inside Politics. Hope you'll be back here again for a future show. If you can't get enough politics in the meantime, go to the News Channel 5 website. You'll find my Capital News commentary there. The new commentary is posted every Friday afternoon. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and we'll see you here next time. Goodbye.